Pakistan has always been a land of extremes. Towering mountains, vast deserts, fertile plains, and rich rivers have long shaped the rhythms of its people. But now, nature's balance is tipping. The seasons arrive like strangers. Rains fall with fury or not at all. Rivers swell without warning. Droughts linger where streams once flowed. The summer of 2022 left scars still visible today.
Nearly 33 million people were affected by floods that submerged towns, broke bridges, and swept away generations of labor. In Balochistan, rainfall soared over 500% above normal. Since flatlands became inland seas, livelihoods vanished overnight. This is not disaster, it's a warning.
Climate change has placed Pakistan among the top 10 most vulnerable nations in the world. And yet, it is among the least responsible. Less than 1% of global emissions, but carrying 100% of the burden. The temperature in parts of Jacobabad and Mohenjo-daro crossed 51 degrees. Glaciers in the north are retreating. Groundwater is depleting. Urban heat islands are expanding. These shifts are not random. They are systematic and they are accelerating. But we are not without a plan.
The National Adaptation Plan of Pakistan, the NAP, is our response. It is a strategy not written in isolation, but built through years of consultations.
It represents a unified national framework to protect lives, secure ecosystems, and future-proof our economy against the impacts of a changing climate.
My name is Humaira Jahan Zeeb and I'm currently leading Pakistan's National Adaptation Plan. The project is supported by GCF, which is the Green Climate Fund, and is being executed by the UN Environment Programme in direct support to the Ministry of Climate Change and Environmental Coordination. Through this project, the NAP team looks at building the adaptive capacities of the government and the communities. As we know, Pakistan's NAP looks at 6 critical vulnerable sectors, which include agri-water nexus, urban resilience, natural capital, human capital, which then has education and health. We're also looking at building capacities towards disaster risk reduction and, of course, making sure that we leave nobody behind through gender and social inclusion efforts.
NAP centers on 8 adaptation systems. Each one is a pillar of resilience. Water, agriculture, health, disaster risk reduction, forests, biodiversity, coastal systems, and urban resilience. Together, they define where Pakistan must act and how fast. Water is at the core. Without predictable water, agriculture suffers. Power generation fails. Human health declines. NAP calls for watershed management, efficient irrigation, rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge, and early warning systems. These are not abstract solutions. They are essential for survival in a water-stressed future. In agriculture, our challenge is both food and fiber. Crops face rising temperatures, erratic rains, and salinity intrusion. NAP promotes climate-smart agriculture, new crop varieties, digital climate advisories, and farmer extension services. Trials of heat-resilient wheat and food-tolerant rice are already showing promise. Urban adaptation is no longer optional. Pakistan's cities are growing fast and heating faster. Karachi, Lahore, Faisalabad, Multan all suffer from extreme heat, unplanned expansion, and inadequate drainage. The NAP proposes green infrastructure, urban wetlands, heatwave response protocols, and resilient building codes. Forests are our first line of defense. Pakistan's forest cover is below 5% and shrinking. NAP envisions protected area expansion, community forestry, afforestation, and fire management strategies. It's not just trees. It's shelter for biodiversity. It's carbon sinks. It's oxygen. Biodiversity in Pakistan is unmatched, yet deeply threatened. Over 6,000 species of plants, 200 mammals, 700 fish species, 660 bird species, and hundreds of endemic reptiles and amphibians. Our Himalayan ranges, wetlands, and deserts support species found nowhere else on the earth. NAP integrates biodiversity conservation by identifying ecoregions, managing habitats, and conserving medicinal plants. Medicinal herbs like banafsha, sumblu, and charayita have immense therapeutic value and are part of Pakistan's traditional healing systems. These species are under threat from habitat loss and climate stress. The National Adaptation Plan includes targeted strategies for their propagation and sustainable harvesting, linking climate resilience with health security and traditional knowledge. Health impacts of climate change are rising. Heat stroke, vector-borne diseases, malnutrition, and waterborne illnesses are spreading faster and wider. NAP's health adaptation actions focus on disease surveillance, climate-resilient health infrastructure, and integration of climate parameters into health systems planning. Our coastal systems, especially the Indus Delta, are eroding under the pressures of reduced freshwater flows, saline intrusions, sea level rise, and cyclones. The NAP recommends mangrove restoration, sustainable fisheries, and salinity management. Aquaculture zones in Thatta, Badin, and Las Bela are included for adaptive trials connecting livelihoods with environmental balance. Inland fisheries and aquaculture remain an untapped area for adaptation. With new strategies to support climate-resilient breeds, feed systems, and market access, these interventions are expected to benefit vulnerable fisher communities in low-lying and brackish water zones. Aquaculture is no longer just about fish, it is about nutrition, income, and ecosystem stewardship. NAP also promotes permaculture and agroecological approaches. These approaches mimic natural systems, reduce dependency on synthetic inputs, and enhance soil health. Community-level permaculture training is being considered in highland districts like Swat and Astor, where monocropping has weakened land productivity. This is adaptation that heals not only nature, but also the way we farm. Disaster risk reduction is no longer just about relief, it is about preparation. The NAP mainstreams multi-hazard risk assessments, district-level disaster management plans, safe infrastructure siting, and nature-based solutions like slope stabilization and riverbank protection. Since 2024, the implementation of NAP has accelerated. The Ministry of Climate Change and Environmental Coordination has initiated district-level adaptation plans in Charsada, Karak, and Quetta. These pilots are showing how local governments, when empowered, can deliver resilient outcomes. Community consultations, hazard mapping, and sectoral coordination are already shaping actionable district strategies. 10 sectoral concept notes have been finalized for resource mobilization. Each one addresses vulnerabilities in critical areas: agriculture, water, gender, social inclusion, disaster risk, and ecosystems. These notes are being fed into funding pipelines, including the Green Climate Fund. They are technically vetted, locally anchored, and globally aligned. The NAP costing exercise is a landmark achievement. evaluated 117 high priority interventions. Using international methodologies, quantified the financial needs for adaptation in each sector. This provides donors and national planners with a clear picture of where investment is needed and what impact it will yield. Adaptation, however, cannot remain in government offices alone. It requires the engine of private sector innovation and the depth of academic research. The NAP promotes public-private academic collaboration. Green businesses, clean tech startups, and research institutions are being invited to co-develop adaptation solutions tailored for Pakistan's geography and society. Professional and technical capacity is being built. Training programs for provincial government, planning departments, and technical officers are underway. Indigenous knowledge is being documented. Traditional adaptation strategies like planting burr trees for windbreaks, water storage in earthen pots, and underground seed banks are being reevaluated as valuable tools. But adaptation needs more than policies. It needs ownership. That is why the NAP places communities at the center. Women-led cooperatives, youth engagement, and village-level climate planning are embedded within its implementation design. Climate change is not gender-neutral, and neither is NAP. The NAP's approach is whole of government and whole of society. It cuts across ministries, departments, NGOs, academia, and communities. A national coordination mechanism is being set up. Provincial climate committees are being operationalized to oversee planning, monitoring, and feedback loops. Every intervention under NAP is being mapped for impact. Are we reducing losses? Are we building resilience? Are we leaving anyone behind? A monitoring, evaluation, and learning framework is being established to answer these questions transparently, objectively, and continuously. This is a plan that will evolve. It responds to new data, new risks, and new science. With climate models being updated every year, the NAP will incorporate dynamic risk profiling and flexible implementation pathways. It is also a platform for opportunity. Investment in adaptation opens doors for green jobs, improved health, resilient agriculture, water security, and better cities. From permaculture initiatives in KP to drought-resistant pasture lands in Balochistan, the co-benefits of adaptation are substantial. International cooperation remains vital. The UN Environment Programme, UNDP, FAO, and other development partners have supported NAP in its technical and institutional phases. But implementation is Pakistan's own. The plan is nationally owned, contextually rooted, and globally aligned. The journey ahead is not easy, but the cost of inaction is far greater. If we do nothing, GDP losses could reach 18 to 20% by 2050 due to climate risks. That is not just economic theory. It is a future we must refuse. Pakistan stands at crossroads. The storms will come again, the heat will rise, but we now have a plan, one that listens to science, respects tradition, and prioritizes people. It is a plan to protect the soul of this country. Adaptation is not about giving up. It is about stepping up. It is about ensuring that every farmer, fisher, mason, teacher, and child has the tools to survive and thrive. It is not just a climate plan, it is a development plan. It is a justice plan, it is a survival plan. This is the National Adaptation Plan of Pakistan. And this is our collective promise that in the face of changing climate, we will not bend. We will adapt together.